Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back. So after my video yesterday, I had a couple topics brought up to me that I figured I'd touch on. I kind of talked about them a little bit in the last video, but I figured I can come on here and do a little bit more. So those two topics were what are my thoughts on working security, and the other one was what is my preferred occupation and why. So to kind of get started with this, trying to think. So it's probably best to explain the two types of security work I've done first. So before, I'm doing my rounds again, so shit's gonna be interrupting me. So before I worked here, I worked for the Department of Corrections, doing security at a prison. So pretty much what I did there was I worked a 12-hour shift, 7 o'clock to 7 o'clock. I had to get there at least 30 minutes early, so I was there at 6:30. I had to drive an hour to work and an hour back, so I had to leave the house at probably about 5, depending on traffic, and I wouldn't get back home until 8:30, 9 o'clock leaving. So I was gone almost 15, 16 hours a day just for work. That's not including if I needed to get other shit done. And then what I actually had to do while I was there was I sat in a room, a little box with windows all the way around it, pretty much. The room was maybe, I want to say 7 or 8 feet by maybe 15 feet, just about that, and that was it. I had to sit in that box every 30 minutes. I have to get up and do my rounds there, and check on the people, make sure they weren't doing anything they weren't supposed to. But the problem with that is I was the only officer in a dorm at a time. And during that time, I had up to 128 inmates in that dorm with me. Now, I didn't have a problem with that. I didn't have a problem with the inmates in the dorm I worked. But the problem is they started swapping people around. And if they would have put me in one of the worst dorms, I'm not a big person, at all. I'm like, if you not shut your fucking mouth on this radio. I'm like 5'7", 5'8"-ish, 125 pounds at the max. I'm a small person. And I'm not putting my fucking ass in danger for that little bit of money, because we only made like maybe $30,000 a year, maybe, and most of that money I was wasting on gas to get to work. And while I was working there, they screwed up and never gave me insurance cards or anything. So I was paying for insurance I didn't have. So I didn't make the money to go in there and risk my life for some bullshit. Like, we were supposed to go in there and, you know, if they had cell phones and shit like that. We were supposed to go in there and say something about it, or we were supposed to go in there with another officer and take it. Or if they were in there smoking or shit like that. I am not risking my life going in there and doing that shit for as little amount of money as I was making. Now, the county jail up here is less risk, and they made more money. So if I was going to go around and do all that bullshit, I'd just gone to the county. Now, while I was there, like I said, I didn't have any problems with the inmates I dealt with. At all. Like, I went in there, I did my job like I was supposed to the extent that I was not risking my life. And, you know, for the most part, I enjoyed it. The problem I had was the leadership, supervisors, shit like that. My supervisor did not know what he was fucking doing. He didn't know how to talk to people. He didn't know how to treat people. Nothing. And a couple times he tried everything he could to set me up to where it would look like I wasn't doing my job. He even got some of the inmates involved to try to get me fired or get me in trouble somehow. So that right there was the reason I left Tiger River and came to work for security. Now, my job here, like I said in the last video, if you missed it, I work security for a research and development company. Compared to my last job, I live a mile away from here instead of an hour away. I'm not wasting gas to go to work. I literally walk to work. Just like I said, it's a mile. I'm not lazy. Here, everybody here is pretty much laid back. I'm on third shift. I only work 8 hours. Well, 8 hours a day. Still work 5 days a week. I work Thursday to Monday. It's easy. Like I said, I'm on night shift, which is easier for me. I'm always up at night. And here, like I said, everybody's laid back. You got two different halves to your shift. So, one half of your shift, you'll be doing what I'm doing now. You'll do rounds. You got a phone. You got your work phone. And pretty much you got two different rounds you got to do. And it's got... I'm doing top rounds right now. You got to scan dots, which when I get to the next one, I'll kind of show you that. But there's 41 dots on the top rounds, which I'm doing now, and 32 dots on the bottom rounds. It usually takes me, I want to say, no more than an hour and a half to get the whole shit done. It's about 4 miles of walking, and you know, you get that done. Typically have to have it done. If you do the rounds first, you have to have it done by 2 o'clock. That way the person in the guest house can do their rounds, and the person in the truck can do their rounds. And for now, we only have the one phone. That's why you gotta get it done as fast as you do. So yeah, you're doing this round for half the day. You only gotta do it the one time. And then the second half of the day, you'll be in the truck. If you do the truck first, like I said, you'll have to do the truck rounds after the person does the inside rounds. And if you're in the truck second half of the night or shift, you pretty much just drive around, check the road to make sure nobody's here that's not supposed to be, and bullshit. Listen to music, do whatever. So yeah, that's pretty much the full circle of my shift. And, it's easy work. I could do this, like I said, it takes me an hour and a half to do this round, then I sit there till 4 o'clock. And then I go get in the truck and drive around for 4 hours and listen to music, bullshit. So, compared to my last job, and I'm making just a little bit less here, but I'm also not driving. I'm not driving an hour wasting money on gas. I'm on, like, they're fucking AC just kicked on and scared the shit out of me. Their insurance doesn't cost as much, and I actually get to use it here. So, comparing this job to my last job, I enjoy this job a hell of a lot more. There's less risk involved. Once I get my paycheck, I actually end up with more money. So that's nice. So I kind of went on a lot longer with that than I'd planned on. But, so all in all, my thoughts on working security, it really all depends on where you're at. And, if you're in the shape to do the walking and stuff like that, it's easy. Like, I've never worked an easier job than this. So, personally, I enjoy working security. I would do this, until I retired if I really had no issues between now and then. But the other topic was, what is your preferred job and why? Or preferred occupation. I can't English today. Now, if I had a choice and everything, I would like to go and work on cars, mechanic-wise, stuff like that. In high school, I took collision repair. I got certified for that, so I wouldn't mind going to do that. But I'd have to go get my certifications again, or updated. So I would like to do that. Working on cars is something I've always enjoyed. I still do it for like friends, family, shit like that. But that would be something I would really enjoy doing if I could. So, and why? There's not really a why to it, or it's kind of harder to explain the why I'd like to do that. So, growing up, my dad was a mechanic, and anytime he'd be outside working on a lawnmower or his truck or something like that, I'd always be out there helping him. It's just something I grew up doing, and I guess it kind of just stuck with me. I guess another job I wouldn't mind doing is like some kind of engineering job. So when I graduated high school and went to the military, the job I ended up with was it's called Precision Measurement Equipment Laboratory. before I left, after I found out my job, I had looked up like what college credits and shit I would get for that, and if I remember correctly, it was like an electronic engineering, parts of that would be done. So if I could have finished stuff like that, if I wouldn't have gotten sent home, I would have liked to finish my college for electronics engineering and done something like automation, robots and stuff like BMW uses, or gone and worked at an airport working on planes or stuff like that. That would have been fun too. So, like I said, I'm not at the point where I am dead set on a job. Like, I may be done with security by the end of the year. I don't know at this point. But I guess we'll see what happens and work from there. But once again, I'm at the point where I am going into the boiler room. You can kind of see the sign there. So it is going to get loud here in just a minute. So I will not be able to talk and bullshit like that. But once again, I appreciate anybody that takes the time to watch this video. And if you enjoyed it, if you want to see more, let me know. Give me some topics down below. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.